Hello guys, and welcome back to another Jonah Central video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys a pretty nifty add-on I found called the Maze Generator add-on. Link in the description if you want to try this out. Anyways, let me show you basically what this is. So, Maze Generator, if you click refresh, you see we got all these Maze Generator options. So before we start going through all this stuff, let's start off by generating our maze. Awesome. So now, as you can see, we've got a maze. You see, you got the walls, you got the dead ends. There is no exit, like explicit exit, which is a bit unfortunate, but don't leave just yet. This add-on has still got a lot more to show off. So, to show off first, there's different cell types. As you can see, I've enabled square. Well, that's what is default, but you got a bunch of different cell types like hexagon, which creates this cool little hexagonal maze. You've got triangle, which creates this triangular maze, and you've got polar, which creates a maze runner maze. I'm going to put it back to square. You got a bunch of different solvers. I'm just going to quickly sort through them so you can kind of see what they look like. I don't really know how this works, but I find that the default recursive backtracker, in my personal opinion, does look the best. A few other important things. Seed, if you don't like how the maze looks, but you like the settings you have, you can adjust the seed to just get random mazes. Why not? Columns. You could decide how big you want your maze to be using columns. Same works with rows. And levels. Levels, it just creates multiple mazes beside each other. Open dead ends is how many walls are missing in this thing. If I turn this up, as you can see, walls are disappearing, making multiple directions, making it kind of more confusing. Now, stairs is probably one of my favorite things you can do. It essentially makes it so you can change the height of the maze, and it kind of like climbs up like a staircase fashion, which I think is pretty cool. Inflate it's essentially distorting the maze. So if I turn that up, as you can see, the maze is looking very liquid. It's very weird. I'm not going to mess with that. It's very interesting, but in my personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of that setting. Alright, so you got inset. Basically, how much of the wall that you want to kind of cut out, create this more interesting looking maze with the open spaces in between. I'm going to set that back to 0. You've got thickness, which is essentially how thick the bottom of the maze is. This actually looks really good with stairs, if I can find it right here. As you can see, it kind of looks like a castle. You've got height, height of the walls, you've got thickness of the walls, and then you've got bevel, which essentially bevels the walls, as you can see here. I'm going to set that back to 0. One more thing, if you go to rendered, as you can see, there's almost like a color to this maze, and you might be thinking, why is some of it more yellow and orange? Well, the best way to visually show this to you guys is if I add stairs. The highest point is going to be red, and the lowest point is going to be green. So I guess you could supposedly look at it like the most green part of this map is the start, or the most red part of this map is the finish, or vice versa. I'm going to add some thickness, and as you can see, we got this really cool castle-looking thing going on. Now, of course, all these settings work for every cell type. If I switch this to polar, as you can see, I'll switch to mirror. We got this polar looking thing going on. It looks like something out of Lord of the Rings. You got triangular, which is probably my least favorite type of maze, but it's all up to opinion. And then you got hexagon, which also looks really cool. It looks like something out of like a video game. But this was a short, cool add-on that I felt like it was important I showed you guys, because it's actually really nice. And if you want to create a maze, but you don't like having to make it by hand, because let's be real, that's a giant pain in the ass, this is probably the best way to do it. So I hope this video helps out. This is a really cool modifier, and thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next video. Goodbye.